Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing my first November daily video with you. I'm a little bit behind on my documenting, which is to be expected with moving and just having kind of a strange year, but I'm just going to keep going with the flow. Hopefully I will have this finished up soon, maybe this week, and get going on December daily, or I may start and work on them both at the same time. So for this album, I decided to use a tiny notebook that I got from 1 They stuck it in with one of their high fives, which is their card subscription service that comes every month. So it's just kind of an extra gift, and I didn't have a use for it, and I thought it would be a really cute size for an album. So I'm using a Maggie Holmes Willow Lane piece of ephemera on the front there with some pretty blue folk art, and I'm mostly trying to go for blues and grays in this album, but some other colors get stuck in as well. And I'm just going to spell out November with my trusty white Kelly Berkey Alpha, and I'm going to put this large foam ribbon that says "You're Some Kind of Wonderful" on there as well, which is also from Willow Lane, but I'm not going to stick it down quite yet because I want it to be flat when I'm working inside of the book. So I want to keep it pretty simple. I'm hoping that I can fit all of November in here, but I may have to add a few pages and add some kind of closure on it just because I think it's going to end up pretty chunky. I don't have a photo or story for every single day, and for a few days I have extra photos, so we'll just see how it goes. Right now I'm done through day 8, so that's what this video will be. I'm using this Maggie Holmes Willow Lane blue paper for the left side there, and I made it into a pocket, so I stuck that tag there so I would remember. And on the first day I have a picture of some Indian food that we went out to get, and that's kind of been one of my favorite treats this winter. Just I feel like it's such a warming food with all of the spices and everything. So I'm just going to use that image on day 1, and then I'm just trying to figure out if I want to do some journaling or kind of how I want the format of this album to be, since I am just starting out. It's always a challenge to figure out with a new album exactly what you want to do, and sometimes you don't know until you're part way down with it, and then you realize you've kind of figured out your flow. So I decided I would like the look of some lettering, so I'm just gonna write out one in kind of a nice little cursive with a flourish, and I'm just using my Secura Micron pins. I think I'm mostly going to use the 005 again because I really like the way that it looks. It's like more delicate looking. I apologize if I have a lot of shadows, depending on where I'm working in our new house and what time of day it is. The lighting can be better than other times, and I'm trying to figure out sort of my new routine still. So on the next day I walked home and took the bus, which I hadn't been able to do very much after that because I didn't have a coat yet, and it's starting to get really cold. So this was one of the days when I did take a walk, and I did make it home with the bus and walking, and I just took some time to kind of notice how beautiful the trees were, and this really cute older gentleman, I think he was British too, he was walking his dachshund, and I don't know, it was just really cute. And this college girl had stopped and said, "Oh my goodness, I love your dachshund," and it was just the cutest interaction. It was such a pleasant day, and I was just kind of people watching, and so I just kind of wanted to include that picture for day 2. For days 3 and 4 we went to Casey's grandparents' farm, so I'm kind of thinking about how I want to do that on the next page. This house is from Maggie Holmes Willow Lane, and then the Gingham washi tape is from 1's first collection, Hazelwood. And I'm just wanting to add some stickers here for the day and just to embellish a little bit. I have these these things from last year from Jasmine Jones for Studio Calico, and they say "Hold on to this moment." So I'm just kind of arranging those there and cutting them down a little bit so they fit a little bit better and there's less white space around the words. And I like how that looks there. And I'm kind of, moving them around a little bit. So yeah, I put a number 2 for the date. And now I'm looking at my fall word and phrase stickers because I want to do sort of an intro page for the farm, which is kind of silly because I don't have a lot of space in this album, but it's still what I wanted to do. So I'm looking at using this frame from Willow Lane, and I want to put it on one of the pieces of paper that I already cut down. To start, I just cut down some coordinating papers that I wanted to use to the right size for the page and just have like a little stack of those sitting to the side. And I'm using a scrap from trimming those down to make the back of the frame white. So I'm just using the other side of a scrap of paper. And yeah, just cutting it to where it fits, and then I'll adhere it down and be able to make sort of a title. And I like the idea that I have, but I don't completely know what I'm doing. So I think I start and then I kind of set it aside for a little bit and come back to it. So I've just glued the pieces together. I think I'm happy with the background paper, but I don't completely know what else I want to do with it. So I'm still wondering which page I want to use in the background. I definitely think it looks too plain without a pattern background. And a lot of these papers are from old messy boxes, so I'm just trying to use up things that have been in my stash for a while. I just haven't had a good project for them. So that's kind of why I decided on this color scheme. Even though the Willow Lane things are newer to me, I'm trying to use up some older things too. So I've just stuck that down and trimmed off the edges, added my little frame. I'm just looking for word and phrase stickers. There are a couple about going to a farm that I want to use, but they just don't quite work and they're not going to fill up the space, so I decided to do some lettering instead with my Sakura Micron pen. So that kind of has me thinking that a lot of elements in this album are going to be hand lettered, which is fine, and it takes a little bit of time, but I think it looks nice, so that'll be fun. A different change from some of what I've been doing this year. So it just says, at the farm together. We went to visit Casey's grandparents' farm, which isn't too far away, but it's always kind of a nice weekend away where we don't get a lot of cell reception and we hang out outside and go visit their lake and walk around and drive the gator and do all of these fun things with his grandparents and spend time with them. And we also cooked for them this time around, so we had a really nice weekend. We were definitely in need of getting away. So I'm going to leave that title page for a little bit, and then I'm using the photos from the farm to fill the next 2 pages, and I'm just trying to figure out how I want them organized. I'm thinking like diagonally from each other because that's generally how I design my pages. So I put the first one in. It's a picture of Casey using this old machine to kernel some corn for the animals at the farm. Wild animals, they don't have any like livestock, but I decided to letter out 3 on this page, and it's pretty plain for now, but I'll add some embellishments later. And then on day 4, I have another photo there of Casey standing by the lake. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want that to look like layout wise. I don't know why I'm trying to put it at the bottom of the page because that's never how I design my pages. So you can see I've come back to the title page and I found a couple more mustardy flowers, and they kind of work with the color of the leaves on the tree in the next page and the house. So the one that I had on my table at the time just wasn't quite the right size, so I'm liking this one more, and it adds a little bit of color and texture to the page, and it helps me use up some of my massive ephemera stashes. And yeah, I just add the label kind of in the bottom corner instead, and I really like how that turned out. I like that even though I didn't plan on putting yellow in this album, that it just kind of works. Okay, back to the farm pages. Just gluing down the corner that wasn't glued very well. I'm going to use this gingham paper, which I think is from Maggie Holmes' Gather collection. I have the 12 by 12 paper pads, so I'm just using it up as much as I can. I really like all of those papers, but I've definitely had them for a while. So I'm just adding that piece to the page and then trimming it down. I'm kind of doing like I've been doing in my 2018 Goals Traveler's Notebook, where one side of the page has a pattern background and one side it has a white background, and I like how that looks. It generally works well for me. And like I said, this is just a photo of KC at the farm, looking out at the lake. And so I typed up some journaling on my typewriter off screen, and I'm just trimming down that journaling so I can put it on this page. I'm hoping to also include a lot of typewritten journaling elements. We will see how often I get to do that, mostly just because of space. But I'm going to try to because I love the way that it looks. And I'm basically just talking about how we'd had a really busy September and October, so getting to take a trip to the farm at the beginning of November was really nice. It was a much needed relaxation sort of weekend for us, and it's always good to spend time with his grandparents as well. And it's always just so nice and peaceful there. So yeah, I'm just putting those down with my Zig glue pen, and then I'm going to start searching for some embellishments. I have to make a couple trips upstairs to where I keep most of my scrapbook items, just to find things that I'm looking for and didn't realize I needed until I started working. That's always how it goes. But that's okay, that's half the fun for me, I think, is the puzzling, trying to figure out what goes where. So yeah, my journaling is all in place, and now I'm going to be looking for those embellishment pieces. I have these Cork numbers from an old messy box, and I used some of them in my November daily last year, and so I thought it would be fun to use it again this year. I want to kind of vary the way that I use the stickers or write out the date. I'm using these plus sign ephemera, not ephemera, they're enamel dots from One Canoe 2, which are my absolute favorite enamel dots. I kind of want to see if there are any more online so I can just have a big stash of them. They're not from any of the newest collections, but I love them. So they're just little navy ones. They're kind of subtle, but they do add some color and texture to the page. And then I am wanting to add some washi tape here, and this is a striped navy washi tape, and I've never used it before. It's very sticky, so when I roll it out, it tears really, really easily. So I end up adding some at the top of the left page with a little sticker that says "Just Like Magic," which is from Willow Lane. And then I think I managed to get a bigger piece of washi tape off for the bottom of the right-hand page. I will fully admit that I was watching Call the Midwife while I was making this, because it's been a long time, and it's a good show to watch while I'm working on things. I don't know. It's happy, but it's a period drama, and it has a lot of depth to it. I really like it. So I think I added a navy heart there, unless I come back and add it at the bottom. And then I'm moving on to the next page, which was the 6th, which here in the US was which is voting day here in the US. So this was our first time voting from our new home. So we had a different polling place, which was kind of exciting and fun. So yeah, we went and voted in the morning, and so I just have a picture of myself with my sticker on saying I voted, and I put it on this marble background. I think that's also from an old messy box, and this is an Instax photo, so I just tiny attached it to that sheet of paper before sticking it down so I didn't staple through to the other side. And I just kind of want to do a patriotic spread. I have this quote that I really like about voting, but I don't end up using it because I just kind of run out of space for it, but that's okay. I purchased the items from Sweet Freedom, I think is the name of it, from Pink Paisley, because I just thought the Americana stuff is really cute. So I'm getting a chance to use it for the first time right now. I feel like it'll be useful for sort of like summer road trips and things like that if I ever document something like that. But I just wanted to use some stickers from the range because it's very red, white, and blue and cute and appropriate for the spread that I'm working on. So I add some of the floral and then Life, Liberty, Happiness, which is really pretty, and I love it on the white backdrop because it looks really simple. And then I add stars and do kind of like a dotted flight line, I don't know what you'd call it. I associate it with bumblebees to it. And then I add a couple more stars. I add freedom under my name there, or my photo there. And then I'm just looking for a spot to put the number. So I just stick it at the top, and I think that page is then good to go. I'm sort of looking and seeing if I want to add any more flowers, but I decided that I would like to keep it more simple. The next one, I have a screenshot of a Bernie Sanders tweet that I didn't see until the 7th. But I just love Bernie Sanders, but he said, "Go vote or I'm sending everyone raisin cookies." And then he says, I apologize for my outburst, which I just thought was really cute. He's very pure. So I just put that on the page there, and I wanted a dark paper since it's just a white photo. So I use this blue, which is also from an old messy box, and then I'm using a sticker from Sweet Freedom as well that says red, white, and blue. And I'm looking to spell out So Pure at the top just to have something else on the page, a little bit of journaling. So I end up just using the White Kelly Perky Alpha. I thought I was running out of it, and I use it all the time, but so I purchased more around Black Friday and Cyber Monday, or maybe a little bit after because I forgot. And then when I was looking for more supplies the other night for this project, I found a whole additional sleeve of like 5 or 6 packages of white alpha in a drawer. So I have a lot, which is great, and I will definitely use it because it is by far my most used non-writing implement or glue sort of tool. So I'm I'm definitely stocked up on that. I was not running out. On the 8th, we had snow, which is unusual for here. We don't get a lot of snow most ever, really, and especially not in early November. So yeah, I just took a picture of our house in the snow and my feet in the snow. And I used a Snow and Cocoa sticker, says Welcome Winter. So that is the first 8 days. I'll get the next ones coming as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.